Round 3 is complete. Ardos! So our story continues with the devastating and horrific entrance of Ardos, Zeus's second fighter to be revealed, his first and only move in the tournament being a stunning beheading of all 4 members of Elder God Poseidon's team, leaving a trail of blood all over him that fails to even match up to his speed, as all around him would be the shocked faces of Omni Vegeto, God Killer Goku, God Killer Vegeta, and of course, Poseidon. Good fight. I had heard Elder God Poseidon's team were powerful. Good to know they could at least provide me somewhat of a warm-up. We can call it that, right? Regardless, rest in peace. You may watch the real fighters continue from Otherworld. I've done us all a favor by making there one less team to take up our time. What am I seeing right now? That man, isn't that Ardos? Ardos is alive! And immediately, Castiel, witnessing this man, would seemingly recognize him straight away, his eyes wide open as sweat would begin to run down his cheek. Akobel, are you seeing what I'm seeing here? How could this be true? As immediately Castiel would seek comfort, turning back to where his brother would be seated. Akobel! But unfortunately, when Castiel would turn around, nobody would be there to greet him, the seat completely unattended, much to the surprise of the Elder God. Wait! Akobel! You haven't! Don't, Akobel! But soon enough a thought would come to Castiel's mind, one which would alarm him greatly, as he would turn his head quickly towards the arena stage and... Ardos! As instantly we would now see a menacing Akobel, angered and cold, staring forward with a murderous intent emanating from him, as if who was in front of him was a sworn enemy saying, "How low you've fallen to show your face here. Couldn't be one of us, so you would stoop to being one of our circus clowns? Pathetic little brother." As Akobel would then be revealed to be on the tournament stage itself, standing behind the man he would call his little brother, Ardos, as Zeus's fighter would smugly laugh as if not intimidated at all, just looking back saying, Akobel, I'm glad you could find time to finally see me. How long's it been? 1 million years or 2? As now turning around, Ardos would look Akobel in the eye and continue, Cat got your tongue now? It's okay. I see you're surprised to see me. You think a tournament like this is beneath me? That's interesting. You must have forgot. I wasn't as lucky as you two to become archangels. Never was Zeus's favorite, was I? I even hear you created your own one out of a bastard son of yours. Congratulations. When you're left out in the cold, what else could you expect from me than to enter something to spice my life up even just a bit? To which Akobel would only stare back and reply, You were not chosen because of your weakness. and you only prove it now by being Zeus's lapdog. My son is an archangel, and what utter humiliation it will be to die by your own nephew's hand. As with the two now standing right near each other, their presence alone would create a pseudo-aura and intensity that would cause this near indestructible stage to start breaking apart piece by piece, as small stones and rocks would begin to rise up into the air. But with his eyes now glowing an even more vibrant red, Ardos would finally reply, "I look forward to it. I'm sure this nephew of mine would love to hear some family secrets. The truth about his father. Let's just hope he kills me before it gets to that." But Akubel, not even flinching at this threat, would ignore completely, instead looking up toward Zeus saying, "And you, this is so low, even for you. You wonder why we question your place as our leader, and tactics like this say it all. Yes, I'm talking to you, Zeus!" As with a death store towards the balcony in the distance, Akubel's voice would raise. But he would only be met with a callous laughter from the elder god leader in response, who would say,
"Tactics like this? I don't know what you mean, elder god. This tournament is one of our creations. Ardos is mine, so he fights for me. Be lucky. You and Castiel are not forced to do the same. Round 2 complete. Winner is Elder God Zeus. Elder God Poseidon has officially been eliminated."
As with that, Zeus would slam his hand down onto his balcony and call an end to the second round, while Poseidon, speechless, with no more stakehold in the tournament, would remain silent with his arms folded. "Well, if that's all, I'll be going now, brother. Maybe I should do the right thing and sweep away the mess I left. All those heads and bodies won't make for a nice battlefield for the next team." What is this? But for once, it would be Ardos now who would be frozen still, surprised at what he'd be seeing in front. Where did those bodies go? As to Ardos' surprise, after murdering the entirety of Poseidon's team, beheading them all, though puddles of blood would remain, their bodies would be gone completely. And for a moment, Ardos would be confused, questioning, could Zeus have done this? Some kind of magic, maybe. But why would he clear the bodies away, but not fix the stage of its destruction?
Ardos, remove yourself. Your round is over.
Sorry, Zeus. But before Ardos could ponder any more, Zeus's impatience would get the best of him, yelling down at his fighter to remove himself, much like he did with Genesis. As Ardos, clearly in fear of his handler, would then awkwardly oblige. And just like that, he would vanish away from Zeus and his brother's sight. But Zeus, looking down, would not be finished, seeing the final figure on the field and saying,
That goes the same for you, Elder God Akobel. Remove yourself now, or face instant disqualification, aka instant erasure for you.
This remark annoying Akobel instantly, but with nothing needed to be said now from the Archangel, he too would then follow orders begrudgingly and return to his seat. But meanwhile, all this family drama would be watched by Omni Vegeto and the Dragon God Piccolo back in their quarters. That Zeus is more obnoxious than I thought. No wonder they all want to overthrow him. But clearly, he is the strongest one there. Even Castiel and his brother seem to be afraid of him. And if Castiel made me, does that mean Zeus could create someone stronger? But while in the middle of this poignant question that could decide the rest of the tournament, Piccolo, at possibly the worst possible time, would ask, "So, I take it you aren't so happy anymore about insisting we skip those last moments to train that we had. That could have amounted to at least another few years of getting stronger. That Ardos guy, he managed to do what you, Goten and Jiren struggled with for hours in less than a second. For once, Vegeto, you might have met someone stronger." "Whose side are you on, Green Man?" And this would immediately get the Omni Devil's back up, annoyed at his longtime friend as he would let out, "Struggle? You know me better than that, Piccolo. I don't ever show all my cards. I was merely putting on a show. I'm half Goku if you haven't forgot. Keep in mind, if I really wanted to let loose, this stage wouldn't even exist anymore." Oh boys, stop your bickering. But interrupting them both, a feminine voice would then call out as a long-haired figure would approach from behind. "We meet again, Vegeto." As unbelievably, it would be Ultra Vegeto's elder god, Cronoa, appearing for a rival team, her face looking as approachable as possible, and she would begin, "Do not fret about these fighters you see from Zeus. They may seem scary, but they are no threat to you. His fighters are as old as he is. You can consider them obsolete. Mainly because when fighters have existed that long, they've been studied for as long as well. And a studied warrior means a ton of weaknesses that I can tell you all about." Water! As both stunned, Vegeto and Piccolo would have their ears pricked up from the possibility of receiving some very, very useful intel from this mysterious elder god playing multiple sides. The question remains though, why? Eventually though, a new unrelated pair of boots would then be seen walking down some steps. Some fresh air finally. So this is where we fight. As finally we would get to see God Killer Gogeta once again. The one tipped to actually be the strongest and leader of Hera's team, casually walking out with his hands behind his head. And as he would reach the tournament area, see the stands and where the fighters would be fighting, a smirk would come across his face, letting out, "We're next! I can feel it! Finally, I can show these guys who they really should be scared of."
Attention! As I said before, the show must go on.
And like God-Killer Gogeta could predict the future, Zeus would indeed then begin announcing the next round, continuing,
Round 3 will commence now, and it will be Elder God Ares versus Elder God Hera.
As now 2 more Elder Gods would be mentioned, one being correctly guessed as Hera and his team of God Killers, and the other, Old Man Ares, whose team up until now has been a complete mystery. And immediately, this mystery would seem to be getting some answers, as straight onto the tournament stage in front of Gogeta, a flurry of multicolored auras would shoot onto the surface, ready for battle. It's about goddamn time! As a variety of fighters never seen before would then finally make their way. Warriors from Ares' unknown multiverse, all creations of his, each with glowing eyes of some kind. The figure in the middle, a green man with yellow hair, grinning wildly the most. But the first fighter, from left to right, being a white-haired swordsman holding a katana, his name would be Koi. And next to him, a green-skinned fellow, his hair yellow like a Super Saiyan, but his eyes yellow as well. His body adorned by golden armor, his name would be Blanca. Before we would then see his one-eyed colleague, his eye red like his hair, and like his crimson ruby-made armor, his name would be Rod. And finally, the one who looks most normal and human-like of the bunch, a warrior in karate gi with blonde hair. His name would be Tail. A weird bunch, but they all seem confident. I'll give you that. Guess it's time we played our hand. Hey, boys? As with no fear, Gogeta would call for his team, and behind him, instantly, 3 sets of red eyes would begin glowing out of the darkness. As Hera's team for round 3 would then be showcased. God Killer Gohan, God Killer Biku, God Killer Goku, and of course, God Killer Gogeta. Some of the strongest and hardest hitters of their team, ready for this completely unknown team of Ares. And so, with round 3 underway, the 2 teams would come closer, reaching the center of the stage. 4v4 again, with neither team revealing if they had more fighters in the wings or not. But straight to the point, God Killer Goku would slam his fist into his hand, scanning the area, letting out, "So, these are the best of Ares' universe, my first victims of the tournament. I wonder if anyone here would be worth fusing with. I'll have to find the strongest." While next, the camera would pan to Gohan, who we really have not heard too much about just yet, grabbing onto his coat without a word. before with a crash, he would throw it to the ground, and just like with his old mentor, it would be noted as heavily weighted, crashing hard against the ground, leaving cracks even on its near indestructible surface. Well, after all those years training, I guess it's finally time to show why I'm here. Watch me close, Dad. This is what I became when you really pushed me to become what I was supposed to be. Pan, Videl, wait for me.
Now, begin!
As the ever-impatient Zeus would then finally slam his electrified hand down again, and with it, a powerful bolt of golden thunder, once more hurtling straight from the heavens down onto the stage and towards the contestants. The ultimate round starting gong in the style of a true elder god. Here we go, boys! Team Ares, it's time we show these kids who really runs things. And like a camera flash, when this bolt would come down, all of the fighters' faces would be lit up. A literal snapshot of them all, moments before pure violence. So this is Zeus's lightning. Let's see how strong it is. Viku! As the first to make a move, and instantaneously would be Blanca, who just before the bolt would strike the ground, would somehow take control of it, switching the direction of the bolt to go straight for a surprise Viku. How did he... And as the overweight Fusain's face would be lost in the light, the heavy-set fighter wouldn't even have the time to dodge, just wondering how on earth an Elder God's attack could be manipulated. And an Elder God's attack it was indeed, as on strike, the erupting explosion would be ginormous. A nuclear fission shooting into the sky, as Zeus's lightning would circle all around it. But in the sky, 3 auras would be seen flying up, having luckily escaped. Whoa! Would you look at that? Now that's what I call power! Keep a lookout for that green guy! And it would soon enough be revealed, of course, to be the rest of Hera's team, with a smiling Gogeta, in particular, excited about Blanca. But there would in fact be someone else, who he should keep an eye on. A certain ruby-armored foe looking above. God killers! What blasphemous creatures! It's time I show you heathens no mercy! As finally Rot would speak, and would seem his target would be clear. God killer! And immediately Rot would be then seen coming in a fury straight into the sky, his right arm coated in a tornado of some kind, alluding to his particular abilities. And the speed he would come out would even surprise the fused Gogeta. Okay, so I guess you felt left out, huh? As in response, quickly, Gogeta would transform into the legendary Ultra form, the form that started this entire manga, combining Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego in perfect unison. Water! And when Rot would finally strike, there would be something peculiar. As created out of thin air, his punch would launch with it a blast of high-pressure water, extending both its force and range. The torrent smashing onto the ground as Gogeta at the same time would retreat down to maintain distance. Water abilities, huh? If you think that'll be a problem for me, you came to the wrong anime! As Gogeta would then begin powering up in his hands a very special form of the turtle wave, as multicolored ribbons of energy would come together in his palms until a beam would fire that would come coated 5 separate different colored beams, all traveling at the same speed. And as it would approach within nanoseconds to be in sight of Rot, the new warrior would appear more than happy to remain still until... Tidal defense! Until from literally just the moisture of the air alone, a giant column of water would envelop Rot, just as easily as thunder and electricity usually formed on Saiyans. As lifting his arm, a massive tidal wave would rise instantly to meet with Gogeta's Kamehameha as a makeshift shield. Well, Zeus the Thunder God certainly lived up to his name. I may be able to control all forms of electricity, but I didn't expect to do that. Yes, their team is one down already. The rest of you can thank me later. As standing menacingly and confident in his victory, Blanca would already be looking past his opponent to his next victim. The ground is shaking! But unfortunately for him, when he would begin sensing the thud of footsteps from the smoke in the distance, something would start to appear. And soon, a pair of eyes, along with a strange eating sound. As funnily enough, as we'd come to expect now from this strange fusion, Viku, the failed Metamoran fusion of Goku and Vegeta, would be seen unscathed and eating a donut, grinning like a pig with his mouth full still, saying, "You know, that tickled. Almost overcooked my donut too. If you did that, things would get real ugly. But for now, I'll just send you back what you sent me. With a little interest, of course." As unbelievably, Viku would still munch away, but then point his finger out, and at the tip would be the same powerful yellow lightning of Zeus himself, re-emerging until... What? He can control thunder and lightning too? Leaving Blanca stunned, as just like us, he would be completely taken aback by this Saiyan's strange abilities. But divine lightning strikes fast, and in an instant, his whole face would become lit up. As appearing now as a charcoal mess, his whole body would begin getting fried immediately by the attack he threw out himself, and with the affinity he so claimed to be the master of. But elsewhere on the arena, another battle would just be beginning, with the katana-wielding Koi levitating in the air as God-Killer Goku would stand before him. Nice sword. I used to know a kid with purple hair who used one also. Turns out though, it was totally useless. I don't think I should be going all out in that case. Maybe I use something weaker to handle you. To which Koi would just respond stoically, "It's your life, and it's your death. Do as you wish. The outcome will remain the same, God Killer." In enough talk. Immediately God Killer Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan form, de-transforming from his final, as a golden aura would then come over him. Right, I've done this before. Don't be surprised, as coating the Saiyan's finger would be a golden yellow aura. But regardless of this throwback or not, Koi would come with his katana unsheathed. And just as he would, God Killer Goku, as powerful as he was, would still have a change of heart. His eyes wide open until... Koi would swipe his katana with full force, but when he would slash, it would not be any normal swipe. What the hell? As when Koi would swipe, a rip in literal time would occur. An entire dimension opening. I knew I sent something off. That sword is something different. What the hell did he do? As immediately God Killer Goku would sense that something was off. Seems you're starting to regret underestimating me. As Koi now, less stoic and with a smile, would watch as his slice would take hold. As when the portal would open up, the most shocking of sights would be seen. A certain Saiyan with long black hair and a bloody wound in his chest. What? Vegeta! As Goku, on realizing who it was, would find it was the same Vegeta he had killed to take his power within the fusion. A time portal to literally within him had been opened. But as Goku would remain perplexed, behind him, a warrior hidden in a black silhouette would appear right, with his yellow eyes trailing like behind. And instantly, slamming the bottom of his katana onto Goku's skull, the Saiyan would immediately be knocked out for the moment. His body sent flying straight into the stadium ground for a massive collision with the floor. But with Gohan, a far more easier time would be had, as Tail would be seen attacking in a barrage with his hands, while unfortunately Gohan with his hands behind his back would dodge everything with ease. Leading an unbothered and unimpressed Gohan to sigh and declare, "Damn, looks like I got left with the short straw. This kid stumbled into the wrong show." I didn't stumble! I won't be the one that lets everyone down! But these feelings and grittings of teeth from the powerful blonde foe would come to a halt when the boy's energy would explode, providing a lava-red aura to be seen. Leaving even the scholarly Gohan, now as a god killer, lost for words. But almost leaving us lost for words, as four recognized to be Poseidon's fighters, the ones dead and disappeared, would be seen in what could only be described as Boo's pods. But soon, the savior of kind, or maybe the Boo in question, would then begin to arrive for good measure.
Welcome to the newest victims of Ultra Vegeto!
As just like that, in a shadowed appearance, a figure that could only be recognized from anywhere on the planet or even multiverse as the God Killer would make itself known. Standing in front of the four with complete pride, it would seem Ultra Vegeto was already making his move. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Vegeto in the comments down below, and let me know just what is Vegeto cooking. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice-acted, soundtracked, and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mongers too. It's the deal of the century.